Guys, so today we have another review, and this is another beer from the box that I bought from Victory, and this is their Kühl Kölsch. This is actually a new beer from them, and if you guys don't already know, Kölsch is a traditional German beer, actually a wonderful style. It's actually a top fermented ale, so it's in between that lager ale style, and yeah, it's awesome to see Victory doing the style. There actually aren't too many American versions of this beer, and this beer actually has a special place in my heart because I actually went to Köln, or Cologne, Germany, probably almost 3 years ago. And it was actually a little bit before I got into craft beer, but it was such an amazing experience. Even being a novice beer drinker, just going to the brew pubs and getting a fresh Kölsch brewed right, at the brew pub right there. And there are multiple ones in Cologne. And it's just a wonderful experience, and I just love that beer. Also because multiple years even before that, early on, I traveled abroad in Prague, and getting fresh Pilsner was awesome. So getting these traditional Czech and German styles onto my palate early on before getting into craft was great, and really do hold an awesome place on my palate for these beers. So let's see how Victory does with the Kölsch. And it's actually awesome because, again, as I said, there aren't too many American examples. And something important about this style, I guess, is the reason that when the German style, versions get here, they're just not as fresh. And it's very important that this beer is fresh. So just getting it fresh and unfiltered at the brew pubs is an awesome experience. So beer comes in a crystal clear color. Straw golden color, looks like a Pilsner, a light lager. BJCP says that this is to untrained palate, it's basically a somewhat subtle Pilsner. So think of it that way. Let's get the rum on this. I certainly can see that with that description. It does smell like a subtle Pilsner. You get the lager note up front, a little bit of the noble hops, so it has a little bit of grassiness, a little bit of spiciness as well, a little bit of the bready malt. But it also has a touch of floral sweetness, but then again, you get that in the Pilsner too. It has a honey, not all the way sweet honey, but just the floral touch of honey. It smells fantastic. Cheers. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, definitely sells itself as a Kölsch. So as that descriptor was going on with the somewhat subtle Pilsner, similar here. It doesn't have the hoppiness and the bitterness, I notice. I actually had some Hill Farmstead Mary, which is a Pilsner, which is an amazing beer tonight. But anyway, move on to this beer. This is fantastic. It has again, not the bitterness of Pilsner, but it has a lot of the other notes. It has a nice sweetness up front, a little bit of, again, a honey sweetness, a crackery, bready sweetness. There's also a hop note of grassiness that moves throughout. A touch of fruitiness, a hint of that sweetness offers maybe a touch of lemony kind of quality, so you get that kind of fruity quality maybe. Good amount of floral on the back end. Again, not that kind of bitterness that a Pilsner has. Instead, it's a more, again, it's a little bit more restrained on hoppiness. You get the same kind of light crockery malt, the touch of sweetness. On the back end now, I'm getting a little bit of the hops coming in. Offers a little bit of drying quality, a little bit of spicy and grassy bitterness. Well-built beer, yeah, awesome stuff. Palate's a little light on the mouthfeel. It also doesn't completely have a complete flavor profile throughout. It sort of has a little hoppiness up front, a little breadiness up front. I wish each one of those elements was a little bit more explosive. I guess from the style you're not going to get explosive, but a little bit more prominent. Very good beer, yeah. Good example of the style. If you can definitely get this fresh, I recommend it as a good example of the Kölsch style. So as for a rating, this beer, it's not too far from the Premium Pils, actually. It has a good amount of similarities to that beer. I want to give this beer, let's go with an 88. Yeah, 88 for a Kölsch. I mean, a top style, a top beer in this style would actually give like something like mid 90s even, or even low 90s. Like, I really like the style. But this one's very good. So 88. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know if you guys have a style that you really have an affinity towards, based on a memory, or just, it's just a beer that you really like, based, for a specific reason. And if you've had any Kölsch, let me know. If you've been to Cologne, let me know. And I'd love to see your comments below. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.